And you're sharing that link with me?
Yeah, as soon as I. There you go. Share. Share.
Sorry.
Why am I hearing feedback?
Well, for a second, it was probably me.
Oh.
But I got it fixed.
Okay.
We're good.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
This is part you got to wait till everybody pops in and starts saying, "Hey, how's it going?"
My son told me that he watches from time to time. I thought that was cool.
Oh, my kid doesn't watch me. Way to support their mom.
Yeah,
actually, my oldest is sleeping right now, so he has an excuse. My daughter is at a band, or not band. She don't play band. What am I talking about? Czech banquet.
Oh, nice.
Okay, there's only 2 people watching at the moment, and I think it's you and me.
Funny. They count us? Really?
I don't know. I'm on my. I have it on my phone, so I know
okay.
I'm definitely one of them.
them.
Yeah, because sometimes I don't see all the comments come through. So I don't know. Where's everybody? Where are you all? Where'd you go? Come back. People.
Hopefully everybody comes on. Oh, we have 4. We're up to 4.
You know what's really bad? Because I didn't send it out. I didn't post about it until like this morning. Totally got sidetracked.
That's okay. You're forgiven.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah.
Hey, Darren.
Where's my? Put it in my team chat. Maybe somebody will pick up from there. Who's that? Oh, hi, Darren. We're waiting for everybody to come join us.
Join us.
Share, because this is a good topic tonight. We're talking about John Wayne Gacy. Ooh. This guy is, I'm telling you what, reading about him just made my stomach flip upside down. Hi, Peggy. Peggy's watching. We miss you, Miss Peggy. Yeah. We miss you too, Darren.
Peggy's watching. Aww.
Yeah, Peggy's watching. We love Miss Peggy. She's a cool chick. Up. There's boyfriend. Good morning, boyfriend. I mean, good morning. Oh my God, I need to go to bed.
Evening, boyfriend.
Good evening, boyfriend. Oh yes, it's been a day. It's been a week. Training people at work it's good, but it's boring sometimes because you just have to sit there and watch them do everything. You gotta let them explore and do and like.
Hi, Peggy. Hi, Ace. Darren. All right.
Well, we got some people on there, so let's get started.
All right.
Hope you all had a good week. Okay, Matthew McConaughey.
I think I did a very good
I
interpretation.
think you did. I think you did. I like Matthew McConaughey, so I got
Yes.
that one right away.
Who
That's
doesn't, right?
that's like my celebrity crush right there. I got a couple of them, not gonna lie. This week we've been trying to get Matt Rife tickets. It did not go so well so far. We'll try again tomorrow.
I'm not sure I know who that is. I'm sorry.
He's
Is
a
that
comedian. If you look him up,
Oh,
if you have TikTok, look him up on TikTok. He's hilarious.
okay.
Apparently, he started on Wild and Out, and then yeah, TikTok made him famous still.
Nice.
But he's
Okay.
hilarious. He's that impromptu kind of comedian where he picks on the audience. Cool.
Awesome.
We have Laura Peel and Steve Gilbert watching too. Hello. I don't
Hello.
care who you are, but hello. Say hi in the
Hello.
chat. All right, so tonight we're talking about John Wayne Gacy.
Yes.
He is a serial killer from Chicago, and y'all probably know him as Pogo the Clown or Patches the Clown. Hey, Kelly.
Kelly.
Greetings from Kentucky. Yay. Been there. Waverly Hills in Kentucky, so yes,
It
we've been
is.
there.
It
Yeah.
is.
We did the Kentucky. What is it? We did a vacation in Kentucky when we were younger on the river.
I believe in Bowling Green there's like a campground that has an amusement park attached to it. I forget the name of it, but there's all kinds of caving you can do down there.
Right.
Yeah.
Love from the UK. Rock on, Kelly. Hey.
Nice.
We got someone from across the pond. Oh,
We
hi, Steve.
appreciate-
Yes. Hi. Middle Point.
Oh, hi, Steve.
Yes, it is an amazing place. We miss Waverly. We're going back there soon. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
It's about time you watch my podcast, young lady. I always watch Jennifer. She's cool. We talk. Yep. All right. So John Wayne Gacy, Pogo the
Yes.
Clown was the happy clown, and then Patches is like the more serious clown. This guy, I'm telling you right now,
Yeah. He had some
sickening, like
major issues for
very
sure.
major issues. So early on in life, so we're going to start off with talking about his early life because it's kind of a sad situation, to be honest with you. I mean, the whole way around this is sad and horrifying all together. But he was born March 17, 1942, so St. Patty's Day, yay. But he was the second of three children, and he was the only boy. His father was a mechanist, what it says, but I think that's spelled wrong. I don't know. But anyways, and a World War I veteran. So he had some issues. He was an alcoholic, became an alcoholic, but he is very abusive to John and his mom for protecting him. Very, very abusive. He would physically abuse him. He would whip him with, hi, John.
Hi, John.
He would call him dumb and stupid. He would whip him with a belt. Sometimes a belt with razors on it, So he would call him anytime his mom would try to protect him. His dad would call him a mama's boy or a sissy. Never good enough. He never felt good enough in his father's eyes, even though he still loved his dad, but he just never. Hi, Jenny. He just never felt he was good enough for his father.
Well, fun fact about a little bit about that is that some people don't know that John Wayne Gacy enjoys cooking, and his mother and him would make cookies together and all kinds of baking items. And when his father would come home and see this, he would become irate and he would become hostile and angry, and because he thought that that's what the women should be doing and not his son, and she was raising his son to be another girl. And so yeah, I mean, there was a lot involved with that.
Yeah. And this is where I think part of his problems, what we're going to start talking about now, is where this all started from, was because his dad was so 1940s, 50s, where the women had certain roles and the men had certain roles, you know. Um, and that's how I think that's where his mind frame went. Because in 1949, um, his father was informed that both his son and another boy had been caught sexually fondling a young girl. Um, and so that's when his father took a razor strap to him for a punishment. Um, but in that same year that he did this to another girl, and he never apparently never informed his father, but he was getting molested by his uncle. And inside the like his uncle would pick him up, take him around, drive him around, and then um, would molest him. So this guy had a really tough youth, growing up. I mean, shit, if I was being like treated that way, my mind would not be right either. Um, but apparently, too, his father would beat him for being overweight, not being athletic. Apparently, he had a heart condition, but it was never really actually diagnosed. So I don't know if his mom, tried to protect him that way. Um, in high school, his dad would beat him up in front of his friends for no reason because he was just drunk, and he wouldn't even like put up his hands to fight back or anything, to not even protect himself. He just let his dad beat him. So at the age of 18, he actually left home, went to LA to live with a cousin who left her family, 2 years prior. So it kind of sounds like the, in the family itself, they weren't good people. Hi, Eddie Pence.
I like White Castle. Do you guys have White Castles in Michigan?
Yes, we do.
Do you? We don't
Yeah.
have them around here, but when I lived in Indianapolis, we did, and I do. That is something I do miss.
White Castles is once a year because you die for days later. Hi, Daniel James. Yeah, you die. You die. Your stomach, let's just say your stomach dies for 2 days later.
Yeah, and the older you get, the worse it is, I'm sure. I
I
haven't had
don't,
it in years because I live up here
they,
now.
they actually sell the frozen brand in
Yeah, no,
Kroger.
no,
I actually
no.
like the frozen one. I like the frozen ones better because they don't upset my stomach as much. So, but yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just reading
No,
it.
I know. I was reading them too.
It's like, oh, I like White Castle. All right.
It's only in Columbus. Yeah, you know what? They close a
Mm.
lot of them around here too. So maybe White Castle's is going out of business soon. They did, and you know what's taken over is the Savvy Sliders. Those are gross and expensive. They're not even good. Nope. Yeah, the Savvy Sliders are gross, and they're way too expensive for what they give you.
So that was White Castle Etiquette 101. Thank you for joining.
Get your White Castle
In case you
together.
just tuned in.
um, but anyways, back to Gacy,
Yes.
and um, so he didn't have a very good upbringing at all, very abusive, and it wasn't until he had his own child, his firstborn son, that his father apologized to him. And that was, I gotta find it. I highlighted it. I got a lot of yellow highlighter on this paperwork. But it wasn't until his firstborn son that his father apologized and said, "Oh my goodness, hold on one second. I'll find it. I'll find it. Um, that I was wrong about you." So what was he wrong about? What was it about his son that he was wrong about? And this is where I want to say his early years is. I think what he was wrong about is I wonder if his father knew that he was gay in a way, like, and he was trying to beat it out of him, because it was in his, you know, 20s maybe is when he, I think it was 20s, um, that his first victim he sodomized. Another interesting thing I saw about here, and I put two to two together, and I don't know if it was 20s. Okay, so his first victim's last name, and I was telling Beth here, I'm like, what a weird coincidence this is. But his first victim's last name is Voorhees. Who's Voorhees? Who is it, Beth? Who is it? Because you made me second guess myself.
I had to get up and look at my photo and see if that was right. It's Jason from Friday the 13th. And we researched it before we got on here. And the very first Friday the 13th that came out, I believe, was in 1980, which would have been around this time, right? Like around.
It was
Well,
it was later, a little after his killings, but he was in jail then.
Yeah,
He
just
was
ironic.
incarcerated, but I just thought that was a weird coincidence that
Yeah.
Gacy's first sodomized victim, who was a 15-year-old boy, his last name was Voorhees. A Pennywise.
His first name?
It's Pennywise was so it. Yes, John. He did go into politics. He was at a very young age. He entered at 18. He became a precinct captain for a Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
Damn Democrats. Oh, sorry. I'm kidding. I don't care what side you're on. The whole world is messed up.
Yeah,
At this point, it don't matter.
he was offering use of his employees to clean party headquarters at no charge. He was rewarded for his community service. I mean, he was a community man. He was the guy next door. He was who you trusted.
And
I
that was
mean,
another reason his dad beat him too, because he felt politics was, you were a patsy. You were a pansy if you were into politics. Like, that wasn't manly enough. So hi Kyle. Yeah, he did. He helped a lot of people. He would shovel snow for people. He would, fix their cars. Like, he did a lot of community work. He worked at a young age. He was working as a cook, at KFC. He was a KFC manager. um he worked at he worked at a lot of different places. He was a construction worker.
he
He
actually owned
helped.
his own business called PDM Contractors, painting, decorating, and maintenance,
Yeah.
with the approval of his probation officer, of course, because of all the other issues he had had.
Yeah. Oh, it does. And so here's so my foot is cramping. So we got um a picture of him when he was clown. So that's one of his clown outfits that he had. I don't know if that's probably Patches because it looks like there's patches all over. So there's Patches. He was the more serious one. And then here is
Logo.
Pogo. And he made his own costumes. He did his own face painting.
Creepy is right.
It was creepy. So there's him a side by side.
I think that's a jail picture too, the black and white.
Yeah, but there's a side by side. Here's his mugshot right here.
78.
So he, yeah, he was creepy. So, hi Tony. He tried to kidnap your cousin. Oh, yeah, you're from Chicago area. Are you? Right? Yeah, my friend Tony.
What?
He's from that area. He grew up over there. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Okay, so how he basically lured his victims into his house. And let me tell you, he's a sick MFer. I don't want to cuss, but very sick. How he got into being a clown is he actually was a member of the local Moose Club, and he became aware of the Jolly Joker, which was a clown club. And they did regular performed at fundraisers and whatnot. So that's what in 1975, a year before I was born. I was born in 76. So a year before I was born, he joined this Jolly Joker Clown Club, and that's when he created Pogo and Patches. So how he lured that his victims into their house. Okay, be careful, be safe. Tell all my favorite spirits I said hi. She works at Louise, so they're doing a live.
That's awesome.
So how he lured them in is he would lure them into his home, get them drunk. He would actually handcuff them, and then as they were drinking or whatever, and then he would rape them, and it was all boys, like young boys. He would, he would rape these kids before they killed them. It's sick. It's disgusting. Anyways, I'm going to show you somebody special. Can you see him? This is baby Gacy, and he's got handcuffs. Yes, he's not mine. I'm just letting you all know this is not my doll. But that's the John Wayne Gacy doll that we have. And reading this, yes, I just found out that's who the It character was made from, was John Wayne Gacy. It was Pennywise, which we have baby Penny. Who's Pennywise? So technically we have two John Wayne Gacy dolls. Kind of scary. Penny, you're cute though.
So it says here that in 1973, Gacy and a teenage employee traveled to Florida to view property that Gacy had purchased. On the first night in Florida, Gacy raped the employee in their hotel room. After returning to Chicago, his employee drove to Gacy's house and beat him in his front yard. Gacy told his wife he'd been attacked for refusing to pay him for poor quality painting work. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's gross.
And then in May of 1975, he hired 15-year-old Anthony Antucci. 2 months later, he went to Antucci's home, knowing the youth had injured his foot in an accident the previous day. The two drank a bottle of wine, then watched some movies before Gacy wrestled him to the floor and cuffed him behind his back. The boy got free, and while Gacy was out of the room, and after he returned, I guess he was a wrestler, pounced on him. That's crazy. Got the key to uncuff himself. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Yeah, he picked up a hitchhiker in 76.
I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah,
And he was getting away with it because it's not like these people were, I mean, they weren't telling. They were telling. They were saying that he's doing this to me. And because he was so known in the community, people didn't want to believe it. So therefore, they just batted an eye and turned their cheek, and it never happened, right? I mean, it wasn't until it started getting more serious that they actually started doing something about it.
Yeah, 1968 is when they convicted him of sexually assaulting 2 boys. And he was given a 10-year prison sentence, but he was released on parole in 1970. So he only actually served 2 years.
2 years, which I think, if I remember correctly, a lot of that was even considered house arrest at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't even behind bars that entire 2 years. I mean, so many times that they could have done something and they just didn't. And there's no reason why there should have been as many victims as there were.
No. And it's,
when they started disappearing and they all were going to the same place. I mean, why the police went there?
Right.
And nothing. I mean, they smelled the smell and whatnot, but
yeah, his family would come and visit, and he would, and basically a lot of this happened after he was, like, the killing started after he was divorced. But they would come to his family would come to his house and stuff, and they'd be like, "What's that smell?" And he basically would tell people it was like dead rodents or like mildew, and it's like rotting bodies definitely are not mildew smelling.
Yeah, it was the same thing as almost like Dahmer.
Yeah. Yeah, Dahmer was gross too, but didn't he eat his victims?
He did. I mean, I
we
mean,
haven't done Dahmer yet, but
yeah, not only did he eat them, but he used them as human experiments. It was insane.
Well, I mean, now that you bring that up, like he did when he started luring the boys to his house and stuff, and started sexually assaulting them, he would actually tell them that he would give them 50,000, tell them that it was a science, research thing that he was doing, because he didn't want to admit that he was bisexual. You know, he had those feelings. Um, I mean, he was married twice. His first wife divorced him after his arrest. Um, and like I said, his dad, after he had his firstborn son, said, "I was wrong about you." So it's like, what was he wrong about? Was he wrong that he thought his son was gay and didn't admit to that, or is that why his son is gay? I don't know. It's all weird.
So John Wayne Gacy's first murder victim that he's claiming is Timothy McCoy. It occurred on January 3rd, 1972. According to Gacy, of course, this is all his point of it. He met him at the Greyhound bus terminal. Apparently, McCoy was returning from a Christmas vacation in Michigan. And he was
Why
going.
they all got to come to Michigan?
And so he was going to Nebraska and informed Gacy that he was taking a connecting bus to Nebraska due at noon. He said he would take him sightsee touring, Gacy did. And I guess they spent the night together that night. And when Gacy woke up, he was standing in the doorway with a kitchen knife in his hand. Gacy jumped out of bed, forced him to surrender it. But during that, I guess the kid accidentally cut Gacy's forearm, and he grabbed his head and banged it up against the wall and did all kinds of crazy stuff to him until he was dead. Come to find out, the kid was just coming in to ask him how he wanted his eggs. When he got into the kitchen, Gacy saw he was cooking them breakfast. So that's how his first murder victim happened.
And he did a lot of his killings between 1976 and 1978. Literally up until the age I was 2 years old. And that just like astonishes that like half of us were born or living during this time period of when this serial killer was killing his victims. And he at least killed 33 men and boys that they know of. 33. That's where he buried all his victims.
This is gross. This says that his second murder was around January of 1974, so a year later. The victim's remains are unidentified. Gacy strangled him and then placed the body in his closet before burial. He later stated that the bodily fluids leaked from the victim's mouth and nose, staining his carpet. As a result, Gacy regularly stuffed cloth rags, the victim's own underwear or socks in their mouth to try, and any other areas that might leak to prevent leakage. Isn't that gross?
That is really gross because you figured after you die, your body expels everything that's in your body that's liquid. So if it's getting stuffed and can't file out, it's going to explode. Like your body, because all the gases in your stomach and in your intestines and stuff is going to build up and you're going to combust. That's gross.
So he started burying the victims in his crawl space under his house.
So he had a trap door in his basement, and he would take them through the trap door and dig, kind of like bury them. So I have a picture. So this is what it looked like when they found his victims. And those are all the flags of where his victims were. And that was in the crawl space. So could you imagine what you had to do? He hid them in his closet or wherever in their house because he had to dig holes, crawl in that space, which we all know crawl spaces are not that big. So he's digging holes. You have to seriously have some major mental problems. And and it's just you gotta wonder like what was going through your head. I don't know. I'm glad I don't have that kind of capacity to think that way. Like seriously though, I don't have that. I mean, he would drug them. And the handcuffs were used to show magic tricks because that's what clowns did, magic. So he would lure them in by doing magic tricks too. So that's why he always handcuffed them because it was a magic trick.
I mean, it just goes year by year by year by year by year. And the families would come forward and they would say, well, they said that they were going to a guy named John's house to pick up their check or whatever. And it's just irritating that it wasn't until they just kept coming up missing.
I wonder.
They started doing surveillance.
So he had 2 kids, right? A
Yeah,
boy
he
and a
had
girl.
kids.
What
Yeah.
year were they born in? What year did I say?
Um,
1966 and 1967.
yeah.
So they would be in their 50s right now. Their late 50s. I bet you they changed their last names.
Yeah. Do you blame them?
No, no, no. That's, oh, can you imagine saying my dad was John Wayne Gacy?
Oh, another thing was I think he was claiming to be a police officer at times. Because it says the first search warrant, um, they searched his property and revealed several suspicious items, including several police badges and a 6mm Beretta starter pistol inside the office drawer and a syringe and a hypodermic needle in the cabinet. Found handcuffs, books on homosexuality, all kinds of weird titles.
He did end up telling his wife he was bisexual.
They found several driver's licenses in his bedroom.
Of hit for him or his victims.
No, just several. It says different. A blue hooded parka found on his toolbox inside the laundry room, and underwear too small to fit Gacy was in the bathroom closet.
So he kept things from his victims.
Yeah, souvenirs.
That's gross.
Yeah.
What is people saying then? Oh. Yeah, Nancy, he pretty much is the sickest.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of all gross. Like,
Well, you know what's even so he had what, like 33 victims?
yeah, at least 33.
Jeffrey Dahmer tried draining bodies. But yeah, so
Some of them he did throw in the river that was near their home in Des Plaines River.
yeah. So they started searching for human remains in the crawl space. He claimed all the teenage were male runaways or male prostitutes. I mean, could you imagine you're doing it so often that they're just stacking?
Yeah, it's and that how he got caught basically tried and was for the murder of Robert Peist or Peast, however you want to say it. I think it's Peist, but
Mm-hmm.
he was like one of his it's because he worked for him or visited the Nissan pharmacy where he met, I think that's where he was, because he was a contract construction worker. So it was basically a potential remodel deal with the store owner, and that's where he met Robert Peistat. But he basically his mother last saw him with Gacy and um, put in a missing persons report. So that's kind of what how he got caught was because of that victim.
Mm-hmm. So then he goes on trial. When they find like 33, he's claiming 33. Wasn't that the number I saw?
Yeah,
Victims that they found, maybe.
yeah. They found at least they said Most were buried in under his house or on his property, and then at least 4 of them were thrown in the river. They did. They had a search warrant December 13th of. It doesn't say what year though. But they got a search warrant to search his property, and then they had 2 surveillance teams watching and monitoring him.
Yeah.
Look at that on December 15th. Does Plains investigate obtain further details of Gacy's battery charge?
Yeah.
That's my birthday.
December 22nd.
December 15th.
Okay, so on the morning of December 22nd, in the presence of his lawyers, Gacy provided a formal statement in which he confessed to murdering approximately 30 young males, all of whom he claimed had entered his house willingly. Some victims were referred to by name, but Gacy claimed not to know or remember most of the names. He claimed all were the male runaways and so forth.
There was some of them were so badly decomposed they couldn't even like figure out who the person was.
Yeah, that's crazy.
One of them though they did have DNA for. Um, yeah, John Bokovich, I think I would say it. He is victim number 24, and he's the one that had the DNA. His mom was very adamant that he was one of the victims, and it wasn't until she died in 2000, and in 2007, some of the family had got found his DNA. I don't know on what, but um, found his DNA, and he was it was confirmed that it was his body.
So after they
Oh no,
arrested
I'm sorry, I
him,
had the wrong name. It was James Hakinson was body number 24. That's who they had the DNA for. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. You are forgiven.
Oh, look at this. I have a whole list of all the names
Oh, good.
and the ages that they were and where their bodies were found.
Interesting. Is that a picture you could put up?
It's not a pic, no, but I can try to get it as close as possible. So, yeah.
So then he gets arrested, goes on trial.
There's this arrest picture.
Yep. And they pretty much find him guilty of everything and sentence him to death, right?
Right. Yeah, he spent 14 years on death row.
Mm-hmm.
14 years.
And during that time on death row, he was creating art and selling it to the public, making profit off of it. He's not the only serial killer or weird whatever that. So he's actually the reason why prisoners are no longer allowed to profit off of their art and music or whatever their hobbies or whatever are. But for a long time, he was selling this. So people that have originals, sadly enough, they go for a lot of money. Some of these originals from.
I wonder if people who own his artwork like had weird things happen in their homes.
I don't know.
Because you know how they say some things can happen. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that sometimes, but I know there can be attachments to things. You just wonder. But yeah, he was on death row in the Stateville Correctional Center, and he died May 10th of 1994. I was in 11th grade when he died.
So that picture you just put up
This one
went for $12,800.
that's crazy.
To think that people would pay that.
But that's weird in itself too. Why would I mean? Why would you? Yeah, it was. It was a huge demand, and it's weird. But why?
Says here that Dark Shadows auction was not the first one featuring his works. In July, 2 of Gacy's paintings were auctioned at Mullock's Auctioneers in England. They were sold to private UK buyer for $2,800.
But why would you even want to like? To me, I think you got to be a little mental to own something like that too, like one of his paintings. Like, I know it's history, but it's a weird history and it's gross and like unless that money was going to like the victim, like his victims, it just and I'm pretty sure it probably wasn't.
It's believed that he painted over 2,000 paintings on death row while his attorney auctioned that, which his attorney auctioned in 1994. Some of them were bought and destroyed in a bonfire attended by many people, including family members of his victims, while others toured galleries across America.
That's so weird. So, here's a picture of him on death row. Who does he look like to you? A movie star. Do you know who?
Yes, Alec Baldwin.
Yes. I was like, wow, if Alec Baldwin couldn't play John Wayne Gacy, like, I
That's
mean,
hilarious.
he's a nut too, but does he not look like Alec Baldwin right there? Like, oh, so weird. It's weird. I had to put that one because I just saw that. I was like, yes, Baldwin. Crazy.
So this says Jane Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, Brian Dennehy. He did play him in the movie. Nancy. There was a movie based on his killings and stuff, and yeah, Brian Dennehy played him. But like that picture right there, I was like, is that? I had it before I posted it and before I saved it. I was like, is that Alec Baldwin? I'm like, no, that's Gacy. Weird. Yeah, very weird. It's sad. It's just sad that all like his life was sad in the beginning, but then it's like disgusting in the end. And you have to wonder too, like, you definitely know people who are serial killers all have some kind of mental disorder, mental disease. But
Well, you
now
would
it's
have
like,
to.
yeah, you'd have to. But now it's like, you know, seeing the abuse he had, like how much of that mental illness was derived from the abuse that he got from his father.
Well, I totally hear you there, but people, and no offense to anyone, and I don't mean this in a personal manner, but people get abused a lot all the time, and they don't kill 33 people and bury them in their crawl
Right?
spaces,
That's what. Right.
So I feel like this goes a way deeper than just,
Now
him. He's
Karen,
definitely has something not right, like mentally.
yeah. Darren, he was
Executed in 19.
executed by lethal injection. You know that, yeah, he was executed in
May 9th
1994.
of
May,
1994.
yeah, May 10th. I think it said May 10th. I don't know. May 9th, May 10th, one of those 2 days. But it was 1994. He was 52 years old.
Which, yeah.
And it was at the State Correctional Center in Crest Hill, Illinois. But I wonder, like, because lethal injection, they don't really do that much anymore. So
They don't?
not up, not up, not in. I know Michigan, you can't. They don't have death row anymore. A
I
lot of
don't
your,
think, yeah.
I don't think a lot of states do it. Maybe in southern states, but I don't think too many of them do that anymore. Which I don't know why yeah, but yeah, he but it just makes you think sometimes, like, what really sets people, like, you think about all
I
the
can
killing.
totally see that, Ace. I don't know why, but I could totally see that. Johnny Depp does some weird stuff.
Johnny Depp is weird. Really?
He's cool,
Wow.
but I mean, he just does weird things. I don't know.
Darren Smith. He was a party animal.
Johnny Depp or
Darren Smith was a part.
Gacy?
Yeah. No, I did not see
I
that.
did not know that.
His last words were "kiss my ass." I mean,
Nice.
yeah.
That kind of sums it up, doesn't it?
It would it right. You know, I don't know. It's strange. You just really, like, there's. You just sometimes wish you could actually, like, talk to these people and go, "What were you thinking?
Or like
What was
just smack
really
them.
like? What was really going through your mind?" Who would want any of that in their home? That's
Dark,
what I'm saying.
dark people.
Yeah. That's what we were saying. We were like, why? Like, that would be totally. Um, you would think a little bit they might have some activity, maybe, because he painted them. What was that one? What didn't we
Wondering
do
how
one
he would
in the
get
past?
paint in prison. Think he made his own paint?
I mean, they make their own ink tattoo in prison and do prison tats by
Right. So
so
I mean, I'm just curious as to how he would have gotten paint.
maybe chalk and took water to it.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I didn't research
Maybe
that part.
maybe they gave him paint, but it could have been a class. Maybe they offered, you know, reckon what is it? Activities that they do in the prisons
Yeah, he
when
probably was able to get.
recreational activities.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm about to find out though. How did John Wayne Gacy get paint?
yeah, he was a painter. I mean, so weird though.
Yeah.
I've been saying that a lot tonight. So weird. Yeah, it's probably supplied to them, especially if they know they were making money off of it. Oh, Benny,
Excuse me.
Benny. You do look like the Gacy doll. But I always
Sorry.
said he was made after it, with the cleft lip,
Yeah, I just read something about
and it was
Stephen King.
Pennywise.
Yeah, about Stephen King.
Yeah, but these dolls. Let's just talk about them real quick. Um, they're made by pumpkinpulp.com, and he makes all these different baby dolls after horror characters. There's a lot of them.
Who makes it?
Pumpkin Pulp.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really cool.
They
They
look
have like
it.
the soft bodies. His hat, I thought it was ceramic, but it's actually plastic.
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna break him. No, I'm not gonna break him. He's pretty cool looking though. He's got blue eyes. I don't know what eye color he had, But then you look at Benny and he's got the blue around his eyes now. Now I see it. Oh, Benny. I still love you though. Okay, I'll show a close up.
That's just creepy.
Right? Like he's just looking at his eyes, looks like he's looking at his soul.
He's looking at something one way.
Yeah. Very creepy. Here's Benny though. Here's Benny up close. He looks like he's looking at your soul. Benny. We like Benny though. Everybody likes Benny. We're making a Facebook page for Benny. Well, I should say I'm making a Facebook page for Benny. Once I have more pictures up on it and little stories, then I'll invite you all to it. Because whoever has pictures of Benny can post pictures of Benny. Yeah, that's my goal.
But Christ Jesus came to the world to save us.
Oh, well.
Wow.
Well, that's what we were saying, Nancy. They're self-portraits, but who would want people that clearly wanted them? Well, you can have them back next weekend. They get one more week with me. Shared custody.
I think we should definitely cover Dahmer soon.
Yeah, we will. Of course, Kyle said why. I was waiting for the why. You'll have to ask your dad that, Kyle. Instagram is probably a better platform for. Oh. Yeah. Well, we have our YouTube. Through StreamYard, I can only do 3 at a time. So, but that would be a good platform. Yeah, because I think a lot of, but Instagram is owned by Facebook. So what you see on Instagram, you see on Facebook. So, and what is it? Oh, we got 2 minutes. Okay. On what date are we doing? June 29th.
Yes.
We are doing
the mystery nursery rhymes.
So we're going to talk about 3 different nursery rhymes, but we're not telling y'all which one. So you got to come here and find out. And then after that, I'll be on vacation for 2 weeks. I'm not telling you either. It's going to be a surprise to you too, Mr. Taylor. I will not be on vacation the first 2 weeks in July, so our next show after that won't be till July 20th. And that one, we're going to do a female serial killer then. So we haven't picked her out yet. We were just discussing that before, and we're like, oh, it's 7:00. We got to go live.
So we'll probably announce that one on the 29th.
Yeah. So we'll announce that at the next show. But we do appreciate you all being here tonight with us.
Yes.
But I think this is a show that we had the most people watching. We had at one point 13 people watching. So awesome. Yay. We like when everybody shares. So share out. And thank you, Laura, from watching us from across the pond. Oh, it looks like she had a Raggedy Ann doll she got rid of. Yeah. Annabelle was created after Raggedy Ann. Or actually, the real Annabelle, it was Raggedy Ann, wasn't she? I believe so. So you all have a good night. We appreciate you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't know who's on next, but I know Justin Brown's doing a show tonight too, so I might go watch him because I haven't seen him in a while. So, but it was nice seeing you guys. Thank you, and join us again on the 29th. Talk to you later. Bye.
Peace out.
Peace.